Arthur Davyatan makes history for Armenia as the vault world champ out there, but it was Davyatan that came in, and I'm sure of everybody you can appreciate that.
Final in itself, you don't usually see that many clean vaults. Like you don't see that many vaults performed that well as what we saw there. So as a vault final, hugely strong.
Qualification, Marine Boyer will be starting off, Ellie Black, then Rebecca Andrade. She fell in the team final, actually. Zsofia Kovacs, Watanabe of Japan as well. Skye Blakely of the USA. She fell in the team final. As Christine was saying, you see, there's a bit of jeopardy to this piece in that bit of poetry. Yushan as well, she's the highest qualifier, so the big hitters are coming later on in the field, and Miyata, Shoko as well, the third highest qualifier. But I think it's worth mentioning, Beth, I don't know if you can still hear me, but there's only 0.734 between the highest qualifier and the gymnast that qualified in 8th.
Yeah, it's going to be a very close beam final, and we know with this piece of apparatus, it's usually the ones on the podium are the ones that stay on. Ellie Black from Canada could be a surprise on this piece. During qualification, she didn't score as high as she has done in the all-around and the team final, so she could actually really move up the ranks on this piece of apparatus.
Yeah.
She was so solid in those team final and the all-around.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, sit tight. Excuse me. Sit tight, everybody, because the women's beam world final is just about to get underway, and Marine Boyer of France, the 4th highest qualifier, is going to start us off. She got a silver at the Europeans back in 2016, a 3rd at the Europeans in 18, and then she was also in the European final last year, so no stranger to these big events. So Marine Boyer of France setting the tone on B.
And always difficult to come out as the first gymnast, but she starts with a beautiful change leg leap on. And an excellent round off straight back somersault. Good change leg leap. Now, I'm sure she intended to join those 2 leaps to get a bonus and also get a leap series. She'll have to do that somewhere else now. There's the 2 jumps together, and you can see actually relatively easy moves can create a problem. Nice free cartwheel. So the gymnasts have to do 8 elements. 3 of them must be spins, leaps or jumps. They also have to show dancing on the beam. There's her spin. Nicely done, the passage of dance low to the beam. So she's had a couple of wobbles, but she's managed to control them. Setting up her dismount, makes the big round off into the double pike. Excellent dismount, really got the chest right, well up on dismount. She'll be disappointed she missed that first leap series because it created a bit of problem for her.
But she didn't fall off, she's through, and she's in the game, and you never know in these finals. If you're in the final, you're in with a chance.
You certainly are. And did really well at the start to control that mount. As Christine said, just struggled on that combination, so she had to repeat it and then had a little bit of a wobble. But a wobble is much better than a fall from this piece of apparatus. It's been a real problem for many of the gymnasts during this competition. And at the start, she has a hugely impressive round-off layout somersault. And quite an expressive gymnast. And this is a very big dismount. Lifts up into the double pike back somersault. Stops the landing. Dead. Great start, Marine Boyer.
Yeah, the dismount. Fantastic finish.
And France have had a very quiet championships on the women's side. We're hoping, I think, for better results than they've had, really. Maureen Boyer's their older member. She's the experienced member of the team, and she certainly led them off on beam very successfully in qualification.
13.3, so down on her qualification and her team final score. So the second competitor in this world beam final is Ellie Black, who posted a 13.833 in the team final. A very, very big score that, as Beth pointed out earlier, could well challenge for a medal.
And that's a popular mount here. She's done a nice change leg half, immediate Corbett flip. You have to put the whole body on the beam. This is difficult. Double spin. Oh, and she's increased her difficulty. She puts the back spin afterwards. Going for broke here. Punches the beam. Super high front somersault. Her feet were hanging off the side, but she knows exactly how to control it. But this is the acrobatic series which all gymnasts at this level have to include. And she does so very nicely. Backflip into a straight somersault. And this sideways dance, she's quite fluent on all her work, quite expressive, and that is one of the things the judges are really looking for these days. They want to see whole body movement. Nice and flighty, that side somersault. So she's just got the dismount to go. She needs a big dismount if she wants to score well. She usually does a 2.5 twist. What are we seeing here? 1, 2.5. Landed perfectly. That was a very big challenge from Ellie Black.
Yes, she upped the difficulty and she went all out for execution, and it was that routine that managed to seal the deal for Canada in the team final. They won a bronze, qualified for the Olympics against everybody's expectations, and Canada are looking on song here. And Ellie Black, well, has she just got herself a medal here in this beam final?
Well, I think Beth hit the nail on the head. It's definitely one to watch. And she just seems to have grown in confidence since the start of the competition. And it had a real pace about the routine. Christine said it was nice and fluid. Not a lot of stop-starts. That shows that the gymnast is confident with what they do. And dismount wraps up the round off into the 2.5 twist. Knows exactly where to finish. Up and out. Well, a bronze in the team. I wonder if that's another medal. Would be fantastic for Canada if it was.
Well, she's an experienced gymnast, 27 years of age now, and she's really showing her experience, because these gymnasts do probably up to 10 routines a day like that. So they can do them. It's just whether they can do them under that pressure that's the question, and she's certainly shown that she can.
Well, a super performance from Ellie Black, the second competitor. She did post a 13.833 in the team final, so this is really going to put the pressure on everybody else and challenge for a medal.
Well, I don't think she could have performed that any better. Judges going to look at the 8 most difficult skills.
She has little areas of deduction, like when we saw the 2.5 in slow motion, there was a little bit of leg separation, but they're only really quite small areas.
13.566. It's not the biggest she scored here, but it's really going to put the pressure on. Could she snatch a bronze? Who knows? Well, Rebecca Andrade, the all-around champion here at this World Championships. She's got the floor final as well today. Looking to warm up on beam.
And just a little wobble on that first element. Very nicely through, 3 leaps joined. Quickly into her acrobatic series, and maybe a little bit too quickly, because she just didn't settle down, allowed herself to be offline. Nice free walkover. She jumps beautifully. She's a supple gymnast. She can hit splits really quite easily. As you can see there, takes the head back. If the judges think foot was at the same height as the head, they give bonus marks. Nice free cartwheel. And here you can see she's beautifully up on her toes. You have to include a full spin. If you do a double, that'll count, but you have to at least do a single spin. Two more jumps, just for good measure. And now here, I love this dismount, round off flip, double pike. She really tumbles along the beam, but a little bit short on that dismount, and the fall in the middle will be 1 whole mark off. So I think she's out of the running for a medal here.
Yes, well, Andrade did qualify down in 7th. Not sure if she had her sights set on a medal here, but she did manage a 13.533 in that all-around competition where she took gold.
Well, I think she's got what she came to these championships for, and it won't be the last we see her today. She'll be in the floor final, and probably a better chance of a medal on the floor. There you can see just slightly out of line. The beam is such a cruel piece of apparatus, it's not forgiving at all. She has got some really difficult work as well, and got great choreography. Yeah, the free walkover, immediately into the jump. And a very difficult dismount. Lots of gymnasts just do the round off, but round off, back flip, stands up, into the double pike back. Again, just out a little bit too soon. I did well actually not to collide with the end of the beam. But it won't be the last we see of her today.
She just looked a little bit, it didn't look quite so fast as we've seen in the previous competitions. You know, the flip had a little bit bent arms, just looked a little bit laboured. Probably not surprising, it's her 5th day of competition.
Andrade was 6th at last year's World Championships.
Rebecca
On beam.
8 with a score of 13.4, and her score here today is
12.733. Off to the warm-up gym to get ready for floor. So, Ellie Black leads this final on 13.566. Maureen Boyer in 2nd with 13.3. Well, Zsofia Kovacs is actually the European vault champion, but she didn't make the vault final. Hungarian settles for beam.
And another big leap to start. A little wobble on both of those. Kovacs didn't actually work on all pieces for the Hungarian team. She's had a little bit of a injury, but she is a beautiful gymnast, and really, that was very nice, the free cartwheel into the backflip. A gymnast who on her day can challenge most everybody. Strong free walkover, 2 well executed jumps. So that combination of 3 elements gets some bonus points. Oh, but she stepped back at the end of that double spin. Not sure she'll get credited with a double. strong side somersault. There's the little side passage of dance you have to see. Lovely height on the leap and beautiful split as well. Settles for the dismount. In comes the round off, double tuck, well negotiated, just little wobbles, and she just missed a couple of combinations.
But again, she's through, and Marine Boyer, who's in second, had a wobble at the start and is only 0.266 behind the leader.
Yeah, so I think that could probably, that could challenge for the second place. I don't think it will challenge Ellie Black.
Yeah, such a graceful gymnast. Again, one that we, you know, expected to maybe feature a little bit more in this World Championships, because she has got some very difficult work, and that was secure. She seemed to start a little bit erratic, settle down into the routine, and then a little bit of a wobble. But this piece of apparatus is such a difficult piece to master. It doesn't matter how many routines you do, Christine, in the gym. It's almost like you could flick a coin to see if you're going to get through the routine. It is so difficult.
To be honest, the only time we've really seen gymnasts master beam were the Romanian teams of old. Panor, Silevash.
And but then again, I mean, they've raised the difficulty now, haven't they?
I mean, when you think of Biles, some of the moves that she would do, phenomenal.
Yeah, in fairness, the best of the American teams were also very secure.
Yeah, yeah. But it's one of those pieces that hasn't really evolved that much through time. When you look at the advancement in apparatus, I think beam would probably be one of the lowest and least advanced.
Yes, I mean, when I first started, it was just wood. So it's now got a bit of a soft top and a sort of cover. So it's softer than when we first started working on it, but
Yeah.
it hasn't changed really at all. And actually, the difficulty on beam is no greater than it was, or probably if you look 15 years ago. Whereas on the other pieces, we've seen massive change on tumbling.
Piece of apparatus, because it's not improved, you know, it's not become sprung like some of the other pieces of apparatus, a complete different vault.
Well, a 12.733, so Kovacs goes into third, but Elizabeth Black is in the lead, as you tipped at the start of the final, at 13.566. Do you think this is going to be enough to hold on as the rest of the four go?
Yeah, it's going to be a close one. She did a solid routine, and this is what we'd seen in those two finals, and up to her qualification score, so she'll be very pleased with that. What we've got to remember, though, 3 of the top qualifiers are still to go, so it is going to be down to the last routine.
Did well there, didn't she, to up the difficulty and stay on?
Yeah, I mean, connecting, doing a double spin on its own is difficult enough, let alone then connecting it straight into the backspin. There's the front somersault, very powerful routine.
Thanks, Beth. We're going to continue with the latter half of the final here with the 5th highest qualifier, Hazuki Watanabe, 18 years old. Now, she posted a 13.6 in qualification, so if you can replicate that, she'll be in the top spot.
Oh, and that was a very emphatic pike front somersault start. And the gymnast qualified. Here we are, the lovely straight somersault, well done. The gymnast qualified for this beam final back in either Sunday or Monday. And Japan were probably the only team to have stayed on beam, all of them. And they were mighty impressive. Oh, that was very nicely done, that leap series. She kept it flowing. If you stop between the leaps, it doesn't count. Now, little pause. She would have liked to have jumped there, which she didn't. So she won't quite get the same difficulty score as if she'd joined the free walkover to the 2 jumps. But it's a fluent routine. controls the full spin, moves smoothly out. Free cartwheel. She sort of follows all the rules that the judges like. They don't like you to wait before elements, and she's very good for that. 2.5 twist dismount. Another very solid routine, actually. And she certainly ticked the boxes that the judges want to see.
Yes, well, Watanabe had the highest execution score of all of the finalists. So this is going to be very close indeed. Down on the difficulty as far as Ellie Black is concerned, but no doubt up on execution.
Yeah, well, there's only 0.1 the difference, but a very difficult start there. We often see a tuck front somersault, but pike front somersault, as Christine said, it ticks quite a lot of the boxes the judges are looking for. There's just a little pause in the middle there, you can see. So she won't get a deduction, but she will lose out on the bonus of the connection. I actually think Japan were maybe the top team in qualification on beam, Christine.
Yes, I think they were, and really they had a very, very good championships. Just faltered and lost out on the medal at the final bit.
They'll certainly go into the top 3, but will it be enough to push Ellie Black into second? Bit of an anxious wait.
13.566 is Ellie's score. Marine Boyer has 13.3. And there are 3 gymnasts still left to go, all of which are the highest qualifiers.
Hazuki scored 13.6 in qualification, which put her into 5th place.
Skye Blakely just getting chalked up next to go. They're deliberating something.
The team from Japan looked very well rehearsed. They looked like, because when you coach, you then want to work with the judges and make sure that what you're coaching is what the judges are going to be deducting for. And it struck me when I watched them that they'd done that very diligently as a team.
8-1 on execution, 13.6. You can tell by the smile. It's a surprise for Watanabe that she goes into the lead ahead of Ellie Black by 0.034. Very, very close. That's been for you. So for the US, Skye Blakely, the youngest competitor in this beam final. She's just 17 years old.
And that's called Silavash, after the great Daniela Silavash, who first performed it. Very interesting mount. She's now going straight into the squat spin. And she makes the triple. Extra points for 3 spins rather than just 2. And she's got some very difficult elements here. This is the full twisting tuck back somersault, and she made that look very easy indeed. And now that's a very, very good handspring tuck front somersault. It'll count as her acrobatic series. And it's very difficult. And she manages to control the leaps and the tuck back at the end. She's got the challenge of the bow coming out of her hair, but I'm sure she'll work through that. Free walkover into the split jump. So far she's managed to get all the bonuses she needs. Here comes, oh!
Well, I think it's obvious what's happened there, isn't it? I mean, how distracting must that be?
Well, especially when, you know, it's flapping in your face. Super double tuck. What a shame for Skye Blakely. She did all the difficult things.
She did. She had one of the hardest routines in the competition with a 6 difficulty. And I think she's going to think twice about having that hairstyle in competition from now on.
Well, what a shame, because for me, that was the best routine we've seen. I mean, loads of difficulty. I love this start, Christine. So original. Talk about adding personality to the performance. And not only that, some hugely difficult acrobatic skills.
Shall I tell you what? I still think she could score very well. I mean, she'll lose one mark, but there were a lot of things. You have to include 3 spins or leaps. Well, she started with a really difficult triple spin.
And look extremely confident in it. Sometimes you see the gymnast looking a little bit tentative, and that skill as well, the full twisting back somersault. There's many a gymnast that struggle to do that on the floor, let alone something that's just the width of a standard telephone. I mean, just great work. What a shame. But yeah, so distracting to have a ribbon flapping around in your face.
What a shame for Skye Blakely. But all is not lost. The difficulty is so high, and she was the 2nd highest qualifier.
It's actually really quite dangerous when it's in your eye vision as well.
Yes. What a shame. Marine Boyer in that 3rd place spot with 13.3 at the moment. But there's the leader, Watanabe, 13.6. Score is in, and it's 4th for now, 13.3. Skye Blakely, her only world final. And that's it for this year. 2 gymnasts left to go, the next of which is the highest qualifier for this beam final at the World Championships. Gymnast that came 7th in the all-around competition, but she did post a 6.5 difficulty in the team final. It's unbelievably difficult, this routine.
And China always beautiful on beam. But they have very difficult skills. Here comes the handspring, front somersault. She controls it really well. And the leaps as well, she joins them both. She didn't manage to join it into the Corbett flip, so she loses the bonus for that. But the big important thing is to join the 2 leaps. Oh my goodness. She was a bit tentative on that change leg ring.
Wow, the highest qualifier has fallen.
That was better, that was better. Free walkover into the split jump. China have had a very mixed World Championships. In fact, of their team, a couple of them fell more than once on beam. But with now she's sort of working with good rhythm, you can see her quality. Beautiful hands, very elegant, legs always straight. Focus on this dismount. Big round off, 2.5 twist. Lovely style. She just had a crisis of confidence in the middle there.
Well, what a shame. What could have been. Interesting, the top 2 gymnasts from qualification have fallen from this piece of apparatus. And it is a real shame because Christine, a real master of this piece of apparatus when it goes to plan, and that's the problem when you've got such a difficult routine. She had 6.2 on qualification. I absolutely love this skill. The handspring into the front somersault. Just that slight adjustment.
It's interesting because Skye Blakely, she upped her difficulty as well to 6.2. Makes you wonder, you know, if you're looking at the field and you're thinking 5.5 and what have you, yes, it's to do with the order of, you know, the gymnasts and what they're going, but was there a need to risk it this much, Chris?
Well, I mean, I always think you want to make sure you don't lose beam. Because being confident and performing skills that you can do well within your grasp are really the trick.
Yes.
You want to be able to totally just focus on the performance, not worrying about moves.
But I mean, at the moment, the winning score is standing at 13.6.
Yeah, yes.
From a 5-5.
Yeah.
But I guess, unlike a lot of other pieces of apparatus, the more difficult you do, obviously the more risk. I think a piece like beam, it doesn't matter whether you've got a 6.2 or a 5.2, it's just such a very tricky piece of apparatus to stay on as much as you do the routines in training.
It is, but if you're very clean and you've got a 6.2, you're probably still going to outscore a safe routine at 5.4 sort of thing. So it is worth it, but there becomes a point where the risk is not worth the reward.
Well, it's a 13 scored, 5-9 on the difficulty. Yushan, the highest qualifier, is at the moment in 5th. One gymnast left to go in this women beam final, and it's Miyata Shoko of Japan. Could Japan have 2 gymnasts on the medal podium in this final?
Well, they're certainly assured of a medal, a gold medal, and that was well negotiated. The difficult round off straight. Well, she did those 2 leaps well, but she missed the first series. That's better work, the 3 elements in a row. You have to trust yourself as a gymnast and let yourself perform as you normally do. Double spin. Strong in the free cartwheel. Both the gymnasts from Japan have very good core strength and middle body tension. Sideways section and low to the beam. Now she had the confidence to take her head away from the beam and give a little bit of expression. There we are, that's something that the judges give extra marks for if you have that confidence. Just to dismount now, round off, double tap. She makes it. Well, I think that's good. Well,
yeah, enough. I think it's enough
for a medal. It's enough for a medal.
Well, while she's been here, she's posted a 13.7 in qualification. She put in a 13.233 in the team final, and she was way down with a 12.966 for the all-around competition. But it looks like it's all come true here, and it's going to be a medal. It's a 13.3 for a medal, Craig.
Well, I think Japan will take 1 and 2, and it'll be a fantastic result for Canada. Ellie Black, if she picks up a bronze.
Well, she's guaranteed a bronze. Yeah. She's in 2nd at the moment, so Ellie Black, yeah.
In her wildest dreams, she never thought she'd be coming away from the World Championships with 2 bronze medals. That just goes to show, if you're determined and you believe in yourself. But this was a great routine under so much pressure. The last gymnast up is always a very pressurised situation, and you can see why they work this piece of apparatus so confidently. Such control there. Would you say, Chris, that's the better of the 2 Japanese?
No, I don't think so. I think this will probably go in 3rd, but I haven't worked the D score out as I'm going, but I know she missed a couple of connections. But I do think she'll medal.
Oh, tense.
I mean, is Ellie going to end up with a silver or a bronze?
Interesting, the top 3 gymnasts so far have only had a 5.5.
So Japan definitely guaranteed a gold. Is it Watanabe or is it Miyata? What colour medal will Ellie Black be getting? We know she's definitely getting one. It's 3rd for Miyata. 13.533. So Watanabe is the queen of the beam. But Elizabeth Black for Canada, she takes the silver medal, and Shoko Miyata, the last gymnast up, bronze. Japan 1 and 3, Canada take the silver.
And to be perfectly honest, right from the very first day of competition, Japan looked the best team on the beam. Maybe not the most difficult, but the most the steadiest team. So I think it's thoroughly deserved.
Absolutely, but what about that result for Ellie Black? Qualified in 8th position, picked up a silver medal. Canada qualified in 8th position for the team final, ended up with a bronze medal. I mean, wow, what a championships they've had.
Well, and just a great example of keep working at it if you love the sport.
Yeah, 27 years of age, by far the oldest competitor, 10 years between her and the youngest competitor, Skye Blakely from USA. And a real shame, actually, for Skye Blakely, because Christine, I believe if the ribbon hadn't come from her hair, she would have definitely been on the podium, because that was a beautiful bit of beam work.
Oh, I would absolutely agree, I would. I think that she'd done her difficult work and she managed to block it out. But when it came to